Welcome back to Coast Files, your podcast for ocean mysteries and true crime. I'm Chantal.
I'm Lindsay.
I'm Megan.
I hear it so often from editing, and you probably do too, Lindsay. And I'm like, it sounds the same every time. Like our inflection, like
Also, when
Sometimes
I'm
I could
editing,
probably cut that at one point and just pop it right in.
I sometimes actually
Why don't we?
shorten the space in between I'm
Yeah,
Lindsay, I'm
same.
Megan, because it's somehow sounds like further apart than I feel like it is.
Yes, that's something to do with the lagging sometimes, I think, is that
Okay.
you hear me and then it like comes through to you and then you say it, or like it comes through to Megan and then she's like, now it's my turn to talk. It's like,
Right.
Whenever I say my name, it is a normal, natural distance from when someone else would say their name.
in
But
our
I,
ears.
yes,
our
but I
ears.
know that in reality, it's like
Listening
someone's
back,
like
I'm like,
counting to beats.
okay,
Yeah.
just taking a break
Is
in
it my
between.
turn?
That's totally fine.
Also,
Yeah.
I never know if I should say my name like I'm wrapping up the sentence, like, and I'm Megan. Like, that seems weird. So I don't know.
I do like that, actually. Maybe we should start that. Oh, and
Mm.
quickly, Happy New Year. This comes out
Happy
on
New Year.
New Year's Day.
Let's not say anything about 2025. I
No,
just want to get
no.
through.
We're not going to
Right.
pull an
At
Em
this
and
point,
Christine. We're
2025
not-
hasn't disappointed. So hopefully.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully.
I mean,
Hopefully
there's
it's a
no way
great
to know
start your
that.
New Year.
I mean, that in
Let's not
itself
jinx
could have
it. We're not
jinxed
saying anything.
by the way,
Knocking on
Chantal,
wood. Knock
I
on
love the new
wood.
headphones.
Oh, thank you. My Christmas present came early, so I'm pretty excited. Now I feel like a normal person, and I don't feel like I'm screaming, because when you have those little headphones in, it's like even without the noise canceling on, they just block so much because they're those, like, the ones with
Oh,
the rubber bits
yeah,
on them.
yeah.
So it just feels like I'm like, I don't know how loud I'm being. Like
Which
after
is
our
good for
Christmas
music listening.
episode,
Oh, that's
I love that. After our Christmas episode, Vadim was like, you are so loud. And I was like, well, we were excited. We were screaming. I was like, and then I
Right.
also can't hear myself.
I know.
So,
It's called being festive. It's fine.
yes,
get with it.
exactly.
That's how we do Yule.
He was like, did I hear
Right.
you talk
And
about
thank you to
Krampus?
anyone who listened last week to our Christmas episode. I know it was
Yeah.
long.
I'm
I
assuming
think
it
it
was
got a little
thousands of
crazy.
people. I think it was
It-
thousands and thousands that
obviously.
It's our
listened right to
best
the end.
episode. Yes.
Here we
Right.
go.
We should put a disclaimer on it. It's like, that's not a normal episode for us. So if you
Yeah, if you're
if you
starting
like
here,
it, let us
you
know. We'll try to do
imagined-
more. But if you don't worry. It's not always like this.
I hope
insane.
to God that no one started with that episode.
Yeah. You have to be really having a shitty time on Christmas Day to start a brand new podcast that day.
And also to like hang in and listen to the whole thing,
Yeah.
especially that
Right.
version, which was like a train wreck, a fun one.
I know.
A fun train wreck.
I had a
thing.
lot of
Yeah,
fun.
I did
I was
learn.
drunk.
I was
So-
buzzed. I stopped drinking.
Yeah, I had a
maybe an hour
buzz.
after. Yeah, I was buzzing. Good.
Yeah, I think it was afterwards that it really hit me, because at one point I was like all ready to go out, like, and then we ate dinner, and then I was like, I'm dead. Like
so you couldn't
literally
go
at one
out?
point. No, literally at one point, I was like, Vadim was like, let's go outside and just get like some cold air, like, get kind of
Sober you up a
untired,
little.
because we were both tired, and sober me up, yeah. And I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going out into the cold. And I literally just like dead bodied it and just like fell to the floor and was
That's a
lying on the
classic.
floor.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
a
I
classic
think at one
Chantal
point I
move.
army crawled across the floor too into the living room. I don't know what was going on. Okay.
I think perhaps you did have a little too much.
Yeah, maybe you drank something different than we did, but it sounds like you had fun.
I don't know. I think it might have been the little bit of weed that I smoked too.
There
mixed
you
with the
go.
alcohol.
There was just a
so-
lot going on.
It was a lot going
Christmas.
on.
It was Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Christmas.
What
You were
can we
being
do? It's Christmas
jolly.
with my two best friends. So like, what do you expect from me?
I mean, in person, we can't get drunk to save our lives, so we'll take
No.
it however
Yeah,
it comes.
Exactly.
Right?
Although next time I'm hoping we can. We'll see.
Yes, at least a little bit. Maybe not
Yeah.
that, but like we
It
want to
may-
function the next
It may
day.
have to be like we have all the, Gatorade and water and stuff prepped, and we do
Mhm.
shots, whether or not we want to. Lindsay, I'm sorry, we'll figure it out, because if we don't
Mhm.
get it in quick, we have like big meals, and then we chit chat, and then we're so full and tired, and it's just, you need to
And you know
catch
what?
that momentum.
Right.
Also, just a PSA: we don't have to be drunk to have fun. It's just sometimes really fun to get drunk with your two best friends.
And play games.
exactly.
Yes. Okay, but shall we get into what we're here for today?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Let's dive on in.
So- yeah.
But
We
that's
need to
never,
bring back more of that.
never gonna get old.
Never.
Never.
Hopefully not, because this
It's
is an
on theme.
ocean-based podcast. So
Exactly.
Mhm. So the ladies are already looking at this beautiful map of Lake Superior. And the reason why we are going to talk about this magnificent lake today is because she never gives up her dead.
Spooky. Dun
So
dun.
we're going to start with some facts about the lake because you know that I love my facts. So Lake Superior is the largest freshwater lake in the world by surface area. So it is 82,100 kilometers squared. So humongous. We know the largest by volume is Lake Baikal from
Yes, 'cause
my
I was like,
old
Listener. I
listeners.
know. I was like,
Yeah.
I knew this.
because that is a deep ass lake.
Yeah. But fun fact here for you to try and understand the whole size of this. If you were to stretch out the shoreline into a straight line, it would run from Duluth, Minnesota, which is all the way down
I
on
see it.
the left there, and it would go all the way to the Bahamas.
Where Lindsay's friend
Wow.
is in his boat that always gets lost.
Yes, without any food. So that's
Hopefully.
huge. Um So this is also the deepest of the Great Lakes, and it is 406 meters deep, or 1,333 feet,
Damn.
or 188 shacks.
Thank you, because
Just
that's
It's
the only
also
way.
the S in
Mhm.
homes, if that's the acronym everyone else used to memorize
Oh,
the Great
yes.
Lakes.
Nerd,
Yes.
nerd alert.
No, that was like the
I'm okay with
best
that.
one to use.
No, I mean, yeah,
Right.
you have to, because I mean,
Yeah.
there's only a handful, but still, I can't remember
Mhm.
them all.
I don't know what any other one is, to be quite
You
frank.
don't know any of the
It's
other ones?
like
Huron,
acronyms.
Ontario,
No. Sorry, no. I
Michigan,
know the
Erie.
lakes. I mean, I
Oh.
don't know any other
Oh.
acronym for it except for
Oh,
homes.
I was
worry
gonna say, I'm
me.
like, it's literally the acronym's so easy
You're
that you
like,
don't
you're
remember.
doing the Great Lakes. Shouldn't you know the other ones?
Well, we live
Honestly, I
on
wouldn't
one right
expect
now.
you're focusing
Yeah.
on Superior, so
Wait,
you
we
don't
live on
need
a
to.
lake?
Yeah,
That's not
the
an
one you
ocean?
live on?
Yeah.
The one I live on right now?
The one you live on? Yeah. So it contains more water than all of the Great Lakes combined, plus adding an extra 3 Lake Eries.
Damn.
Wow.
That's
Show
it's
off.
like,
Cool.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to derail us because we tend to do that. But do you
What?
remember when you were a kid and like CD-ROM games were like all the thing? Like if you're too
Mhm.
young and you guys don't have CD-ROM games, wow, just you missed out.
I
Like,
used to really like playing
Yeah.
a Charlie Brown one. I remember that one.
see, I've never
Yeah.
played
Yeah.
that one, but I had one that was based on the Magic School Bus. Is that the
Ooh.
aftercare school place
I
that I went?
love the Magic School Bus.
Right? I mean, who doesn't? And this one, I don't know if it was
Mhm.
like one little segment or you could pick whichever one you wanted, but this one was like space themed. And
Okay.
there was this little game within it where you could see how many, like Saturns fit inside Jupiter and how many Earths fit inside Jupiter.
Oh, cool.
And it just puts it into perspective. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
He's
just
obsessed
appreciate
with
that.
videos like this right now. He's really into
It's
space.
so much fun.
Yeah, it
I
is
don't
I love
even
cool.
those
know.
I love those little science things that you see now, the little science like kits and everything that you can get for kids.
Mm.
I
They're
always really want
they're
them.
probably for all ages. So if you want a
I
different
mean,
dinosaur,
it's
Come to
probably
probably
my
just
just
like
place
an
for
8
Christmas,
plus type
Chantal, if
thing.
you want some
That's
science
right.
kits.
Yeah,
We have
It's like
some
how come
here.
Grayson's
I'll build a
crying in the
robot
corner?
with
It's
your
because
son, yeah.
Chantal's taking all the toys and she's playing with them.
I'm like hitting at him, and I have all his Lego, and I've done all his jigsaw puzzles.
Right.
So
And
He
he's
needs
just
treats too, I'm
inconsolable.
sure. Yeah.
She
of
has chocolate
course.
all over her face.
She's laughing.
You-
Evil
yeah.
maniacal laugh.
Just like a feral raccoon in the corner. Like,
Yes.
Such an image, and then like Christmas is ruined, but Chantal is so happy.
As long as Chantel's happy.
she's army crawling around the apartment.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, back to
Terrifying.
this.
Okay. Back to other scary things.
Not quite scary yet, but 300 streams and rivers empty into Lake Superior, and the large one actually comes from the Nipigon region, or Nipigon River in
I see it on the map.
Oh, I
Ontario.
see it at the top.
Mm,
North there.
Yeah. And the average visibility in the lake is 9 meters, so 27 feet,
That's pretty
meaning that
deep.
it is
Pretty
the cleanest
clear,
and
yeah.
clearest of the Great Lakes. Yeah, so it's I don't know. I'm surprised because you know how I was saying before, I forgot which episode it was, where it's like, Lake Baikal doesn't have a lot of lakes and rivers
Clarity.
that feed into it. That's why it's so deep and it's very clear.
Yeah.
But this seems to be different. It has a lot that flow into it, but it almost like it helps replenish itself or to become clearer. Not quite
Nice.
sure how that one works, but I'm not going to question it.
If there's any
Um,
lake scientists out there, I mean,
Yeah.
write in. Let us
Lakeologist?
know.
Yeah. Lakeologist.
I'm
It's
assuming
What
that's what
is
they're
the
called.
scientific term? I'm not sure. Let's look it
Well,
up
we know
later.
it's not a marine biologist,
No.
so it's a. I mean, lakeologist sounds right.
Lakeologist sounds right? Yeah, okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go with
sure.
that, and I'm never gonna look it up
Any
ever
lake
in my life.
biologists, write in. Let us
It's just
know.
never gonna come up again. It's never gonna come
Never.
up.
And some of the world's oldest rocks are found on the shore of Ontario, on Lake Superior,
That's
and
cool.
they are about 2.7 billion years old.
So is that when Jesus
Wow.
was first? Wait,
It was when Jesus was riding the
Way,
dinosaurs.
yeah.
Wait,
way
wait,
before.
no, that was before dinosaurs.
Okay. You know what? We're
But
gonna come
Jesus
back
was
to it.
definitely there.
Oh yeah,
You said
obviously.
billion or million?
Billion, billion.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's way before dinosaurs.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Jesus was there.
It's not even. Yeah, Jesus was there. Obviously, Jesus has always been there. It is also the home to the most remote lighthouse in the world. And this lighthouse is called the Standard Rock Lighthouse. So the closest land point you can see on the map there is Marquette, Michigan. And this is still 38.5 kilometers away. So 24 miles. And it's often referred to as the loneliest lighthouse in the world. So it was
Oh,
erected in 1882 on a
Erected.
submerged reef that wreaked havoc on the lake for years. And on June 19th, 1961, an explosion occurred in the engine room that killed one Coast Guard and injured 3 others.
Damn.
wow.
And it was so intense that it actually melted part of the limestone that was near the engine house.
What the hell?
Yeah. So the next year, it became automated. And now the lighthouse is used for observation and climate research.
Oh. It's a
Wow.
very creepy moniker, the loneliest lighthouse.
I
I would not
know.
think that'd
Yeah,
be in the
because
lake.
lighthouses generally are probably lonely, but like
I would
to be
say
the
so. Imagine the
loneliest.
loneliest.
Yeah.
It's really
But
saying
here's
I mean,
something.
technically, you're in the middle of a province and a state, but you're not in the middle of the ocean. So
Yeah.
that's a very weird visual.
yeah, but it's like still the closest land is 38 kilometers. It's
Mm.
very out there.
Yeah, I probably couldn't swim that.
No. I'm
Mm,
gonna go
maybe
with
not.
no.
Probably couldn't do it.
You know what? Let's try.
Yeah.
So, where was I? Lake Superior has had an estimated 550 shipwrecks, 350 known, and approximately 200 occurred in just one area. So the next photo there is this really cool map. You can zoom in on it and it shows all of the shipwrecks. So there
Oh,
is one of
wow.
these maps for each of the Great Lakes, actually.
So
So we're going to
print
link this
this,
website.
print this out really, really big and hang it up like in your
It's
bar or your tavern or something.
I definitely say go back and look at this at least later. Some of the information on the map I do cover, but it really tells you all about the different ones. There's a little legend down in the bottom to tell you what type of ship it was that
Oh,
sank there. It's giving like
this
rough
is really
estimates of
cool.
where it was and where it sank. But what we're going to focus on is you can look up, if you go to the right-hand side, you'll see something that says Shipwreck Coast or Whitefish Point. So that in between there and down where it says Munsing, close to Marquette, but
Oh, I
just
see it. I
before
see it.
Munsing,
Yeah.
that is all where the most shipwrecks have happened. So 200 just in that one
Wow.
area.
God
It looks like
damn.
it's only like the top northeast section that is
That is
somewhat
safe.
safe.
And I'm assuming it's probably because of whatever is around there. They're not
Yeah.
shipping anything to that area
There
really.
still was
Right.
So
one.
Terrace Bay for some reason just doesn't get a lot of anything.
Wow.
So yeah, this is very cool. Obviously, I don't think there's 350 on there, but you can see there's like a
Right.
crap ton of shipwrecks to
Hey,
cover on
as
his.
we've come to find out, sometimes it's hard to know exactly how many little icons are there because I had 400
That is
That's
true.
true. I was almost going to
octopuses.
say
If
that, but I
there
was
is
thinking back to that
350 on here,
octopus
I
thing.
I don't
There
know.
there honestly could be.
There could be actually. You know what? We'll count later.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I'll
we're
and
not going
I'll
to. Let's
I'll
assume
say
there
sorry.
is.
Yeah. This area, yeah, it sees a lot of shipwrecks, and I'm gonna kind of cover the key reasons why. So It's a key transport route for shipping of iron, ore, coal, and grain. So it's a very high traffic area. The shipping lanes to go in and out of there are very narrow, and they'll normally have multiple ships coming in at once. There are a lot of submerged reefs around there. There's very strong currents. There can be things called squalls suddenly. Do you know guys know what a squall is?
I've
I
heard
know
of
White
it, sort of,
Squall, which is a heartbreaking
but
movie. Big wave, big
So
wind wave.
winds. So these are
Mm.
winds that increase by 29 kilometers per hour, so 18
oh
miles per hour,
wow,
and are sustained for 1 minute at 40 kilometers per hour. So 25 miles per
wow,
hour for 1 minute.
That's
It's
that's a long
crazy.
time if you actually count
yeah,
out 60
Yeah.
seconds. Like that's
Well,
a
it
long
because
time.
normally
is.
a wind gust is only a second. I looked up the difference between the two. A
Really?
gust is only for a second. That is considered a gust.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Sustained, remember, because gusts can sometimes feel like they're moving all over the place, where this is sustained. Um, Other reasons are sudden fog, sudden storms and there's no real areas for the ships to go and protect themselves from it because the lake's very open.
Mhm.
It's the first area to get ice on Lake Superior itself is in the shipwreck area. And it's common for it to have what's called the lake effect snow. Do you guys know what that is?
Why did that? I've heard the term lake effect,
You
but I don't
probably because
Yeah,
of like the Weather
living.
Network.
Yeah.
yeah.
So what happens is that cold air, often from the side of Canada, moves across the open water of the lake, and heat and moisture rise from the water into the cold air and create clouds, and they keep getting bigger and bigger, and this causes snow to fall
Mm.
onto the water at 2 to 3 inches per hour
Oh my
Gosh.
or more.
I'm just
Yeah.
never gonna leave my house again.
Um, And November sees a lot of storms, which are nicknamed November witches on the lake.
Oh,
And they're called this due to their dangerous and unpredictable nature. And they cause a temperature differential between the air and the water, which can create winds up to 113 kilometers per hour.
holy
So
shit!
70 miles per
Wow.
hour. And they can create waves. I think the largest wave has been clocked in at 35 feet. 9
And this
meters.
is a
That's
lake. I just
crazy in
want to
a
This
remind
is a
lake.
lake.
everyone.
Remember,
I'm
this
lake.
has nothing to do with tides. This has everything to do with wind.
I have been to Lake Superior, and looking out from the shore, it does feel like you're almost at the ocean, right? It does.
Mhm.
It's so
Yeah. Even
big,
sometimes Lake
and it's
Ontario
so
does too.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Michigan as well. So there's these lakes
Hmm.
are
They're
very.
phenomenal.
They
They're
are, yeah.
great. Yeah. Oh.
Sorry. So bad. I'm so sorry.
Get off the podcast.
There's a door behind
So
you, Megan.
yeah.
Just imagine a
It's not
giant
bad.
cane comes and just whisks me away.
Can it be a candy cane because we're technically still in Christmas right now?
Yes, we are. Still got festive.
Megan's finding one. So,
Just
these
tiny.
no, that one won't work.
Oh, cute.
No,
These
I know.
winds create a phenomenon called the Three Sisters,
It's
and
something
what
like a
this
phenomenon.
is something like a
Some
phenomenon.
right. The song is so
And so
good.
these winds, so these waves, what happens is that they are three monstrously large waves that run parallel and in succession. And so they just keep batting and batting and batting, and they don't give space or time for a ship to actually right itself. So when these occur, you can pretty much just
Bye.
like get the
Yeah.
lifeboats already in the water, but that's not even probably going to help you. So
So many reasons to not go on a boat, and yet we depend on this form for
Right.
travel and for
yeah,
shipping for items. Like, wow.
And you
yeah,
think a lake is safe, but clearly not.
no.
I guess
Yes,
the bigger they are.
not one at this size. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next, I'm going to talk about my first shipwreck.
For
So
sure.
this is the SS Kamloops. So you can go to the next photo there. My photos aren't too exciting. It's mostly ships that kind
I
of look similar.
fucking love ships.
Boats. No, they are great. It's just they kind of all look alike. So you'll see how I tried to mix it up. Anyways, so this is the SS Kamloops. It was a 250-foot long, 2,402-ton steamship, and that was actually considered relatively small.
Oh,
So it was carrying paper, canned goods, wire fencing, farm equipment, shoes, food,
What
like
kind
just
of
a lot
shoes?
more.
and you
There's a
have our
video of
interest.
them.
Really?
So last seen above above lake water on December 6th, 1927. And it was only 3 years of age at this point.
Oh,
So
Just a
uh,
baby.
yeah, it was just a baby.
Just a,
So
it
it
was
was
small
headed,
too, small baby.
little tiny baby. So it was headed towards Isle Royale, which on the map there was kind of on the northwest. No, sorry. How do you do that? Yeah, northwest, this way.
because it's never eat
Only
shredded
establish
Never
the
wheat.
eat
northeast
shredded
is
wheat.
the safe
Northwest.
spot, so probably not
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So it's
Unless
not
it's
there.
the
Yeah, it's the
one ship
northwest.
that crashed there. Oh, that's not there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that one little tiny one. So it was last seen heading towards there, and then it just was never seen again. And they believe that it was likely weather related, whatever caused the tragedy, and all 22 people died that were on the ship.
Oh, wow.
Now, what's interesting here, in December of 1928, a message in a bottle was found by a trapper on what's called Agawa River. And it was contained a note from a woman named Alice Bettridge. And it said inside of it, so she was an assistant stewardess, and it said inside of it, I am the last one left alive, freezing and starving to death on Isle Royale in Lake Superior. I just want mom and dad to know my fate.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So obviously some of them survived, but like
But
nobody
they
could
were on a
find
little
them.
island or something.
They were on this little island, it seems, because that's what she said she was on.
Yeah,
And
and it's probably like you don't even
December.
know if you can
Mhm.
make it to shore or try to. I'm
Yeah.
what time of year did you say it was again?
December.
Oh yeah, so you don't want to be. You just freeze to death if you went in the water.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
and we already know it's super cold there. And then so
Yeah.
you're probably wet and it just was not a good scene all
Oh,
together.
It's really tragic.
Yeah. So the shipwreck was discovered in 1977 at 270 feet deep. This is the video that I was talking about. You can see this video, and it even showed like a lifesavers box, this like old tin like lifesavers candy box.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought you meant
wow.
The
like
candy, not not that, like a lifesavers
I
candies.
Yeah.
love lifesaver
Me
candies.
too. I remember my
They were
grandfather for
good.
Christmas used to
The
get me this
book?
little lifesaver book. Yeah, every
Babe,
year.
I
had
got that
those.
book every
Mhm.
every year in my
The
stocking.
butterscotch ones.
Well, I
That was
used
the
to
only time I
organize
liked
them.
butterscotch.
I think I like them, but I like the
I like caramel though.
I liked
always like the
blanking citrus
Werther's
ones.
butterscotch
Mhm.
candies.
Okay,
My grandma
grandmas.
always
Yeah.
had them.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
did my
exactly,
grandfather.
grandma.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, and actually, hold on. So you know how we talk with our like biggest fan, Jack, and how
Mhm.
she likes Smarties more, which is like so
Yes.
weird because that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
correct.
It's the candy
Yeah.
and chocolate. Yeah. Got
Yeah. Are lifesavers like a thing in the States? Because they just seem very Canadian.
I don't
but
even
I
see
don't
lifesavers that much
think
anymore.
so. I mean, to be honest,
they
I
probably
haven't
started.
seeked them out, but I don't think so. I'm gonna ask
I
my coworkers tomorrow if they know what lifesavers
Yeah.
are.
I've only seen lifesavers really the mints now anymore. I don't even think
Oh,
I've seen a lifesaver
Those are
we
good.
have
candies in a long
lifesaver
time.
Gummies here. We
Those are
do have
also
those
good,
for
but,
sure.
like, the
Right.
hard
I think
candies
we've
are
had
great.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
must have
Anyways,
lifesavers.
We're gonna
Yeah.
cover that at some
Somebody
point because
get at
I'm
us.
We should. We'll have to
interested.
have we'll have Smarties and M&Ms, and we'll taste them again on the show.
Mhm.
Prove
Yeah.
Jack wrong. Sorry,
And we're gonna pay for Jack to fly up. No, I'm kidding. We can't do
No.
that.
well,
Could you
maybe
imagine?
we
I
can
would love
send.
to.
Why don't we send M&Ms?
Oh, we should. Okay, you know what? I'm
Mhm.
not even going to message them on Instagram. Okay, Jack, send us your address if you're brave, and we will send you as many Smarties as we can fit. Oh, but Canada Post is on strike, so once the strike is
So
over,
we'll wait for a little
Well,
bit.
I mean, I can send them from the U.S. Right? Isn't
yeah,
Jack
but
in?
it's not the same because like you're already in the same country as Jack, shouldn't it? It's more special if it comes from Canada.
Wait,
Yeah,
you
but
guys
a
actually have
Canadian.
Smarties in the US?
I can
Yeah,
well, I'm gonna be back and forth. I can just grab them, and I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
True.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
okay.
That makes
So we
sense.
kind of like
They can
went off
still.
kilter, but candy is
Okay.
so important.
Let's get back to this.
Back to it.
So,
'Kay.
we're in the shipwreck. You can go to the next photo there, and this is a photo of inside the shipwreck.
Creepy.
And this is called Old Whitey.
Is
So
that a
this
person?
is an extremely well intact corpse.
Oh my gosh! I see. Is that the feet?
That whole white thing is him.
Like
Yeah.
the legs and
Yeah.
feet. That's what I'm looking
So-
at,
Oh my
right?
god, it's got
Oh my
chills.
This
gosh.
picture gives me chills. This whole thing gives me chills. So he's often seen floating in the engine room or cargo hold. and the body sometimes gently moves with the current from divers
Oh
swimming by. I would
God.
simply poo
Oh.
my pants.
Because this is the first time I've seen a picture of like a body in a shipwreck like this. We've
Mhm.
Just
asked
to be
about this.
fair, if people are
Yeah.
listening, not watching, it's only because of Chantel's vibe that I figured it out. You really can't tell. It looks like
Tell,
something, but
no.
there's nothing about it that'd be like, oh, that's clearly a person.
So
Yeah.
we're going to get into why it's white specifically. So some divers even say that they've seen his ghost following them around
Oh
while
my
they
God.
swim.
That's like that other episode that you did where I was like shitting my pants.
Mhm.
Yes.
So, how exactly does a body stay so well preserved for that long? Well, the exact reason that there are so many well preserved ships down there.
Cold.
So, it's extremely cold. So, the cold water preserves because it's nearly freezing. The bottom is constantly at 2 degrees. That's it. No
Mm.
higher. Well, between 1 and 2, no higher than that.
It's pretty cold for water.
So because it's so deep, we know it's not getting photosynthesis, so there's less oxygen down there. Less oxygen means less scavengers, and that means a slower decomposition. It also because there's no scavengers to eat anything, gases don't form as quickly in bodies, so they don't really float up either. That's why they
Yeah,
stay
he's
down where
definitely
they
not
are.
floating. He's like,
He's not the only one. There's actually lots of
Oh
videos that you
wow.
can find of shipwrecks, and there's lots of bodies that they found. So he's
Oh,
just the most
wow.
famous.
yeah.
Okay.
There was also a body of a diver that was, I guess, around the ship as well. Yeah.
Mm.
So the waterlogged bodies cause what's called adipocere formation, which happens from a chemical reaction called saponification.
I
So I think I just talked about this at one point a little bit in another episode. So this further preserves the bodies because what it does is it creates a waxy-like production from the breakdown of fat, and it's also called soapifying, which essentially mummifies them.
Mm.
And so that just means that Lake Superior has the perfect conditions to preserve wood, to preserve
Okay.
steel, to preserve bodies, everything. So
And I'm guessing the pressure, because it's not, as deep as some ships, like it's probably not under too much pressure, like comparably. Some is at the
well, they
bottom of
would
the
be
ocean.
under pressure. I mean, it's 406 meters down, so you would
Yeah,
still
still
get,
decent, but
yeah, you would
yeah.
still get the atmospheric pressure as you're going down, which also probably helps to keep things kind of weighted and down there as well with the
Mhm.
bodies not
And
floating
people
up.
who dive to this, are they in like a special, like little
Most of them
submersible
would
or?
have to be specially certified. I think you have to be certified specifically for water that cold as well to begin with.
Okay.
But you definitely need a special certification to go down this
and these are
low.
probably closed sites, I imagine. Like you have to get
We
permission.
get into that later.
Okay.
Okay.
So now that we kind of know why things are so preserved, I'm just gonna go through some wrecks. Obviously there was a lot to decide. You can go to every website and find like 6 different ones that you hadn't heard of before. So we just kind of chose the ones that I liked the most. So, because
You
it's
had
my
like a
episode.
lot. You had a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
So if you covered all of
Um,
them, we couldn't take it. That'd be
you
like a
know,
10-hour long podcast episode.
Hey, that's
I
lots
decided
of
not to give
material
my
to have.
joke.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
when we're like,
Lake
old, we still have
Superior could
shipwrecks from Lake Superior to cover.
Yeah, Lake Superior could just be like one of those ones that we go back to. You know what? Let's
Volume
cover some more
10.
shipwrecks today.
Right.
um, Hang on, I got a burp. Ooh,
That almost
thank
came in
you.
too fast for you.
It did almost. I
just
remembered this time
just
though.
enough time.
Yeah.
Lindsay will definitely
Okay.
edit that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So will I. Or not. I don't know.
Unless it's sometimes they fit, sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they fit the energy and the mood,
My
Exactly.
energy. Okay.
Well, yeah.
So the first one, if you go to the next photo there,
Okay.
this one already off to a bad start with this name. It's called the Invincible.
Why do
Ooh.
you gotta do it? Why? This is my ship. It's called This Ship Could Never Sink.com.
Right. You're asking for a shipwreck.
Yes, I know. It's just, you know what? We're not laughing at the situation, people. We're laughing at the oh my God of it all.
Just
The name.
ironic.
So this ship was built in 1802,
Whoa.
and it is considered the first commercial shipwreck on Lake Superior. And so this happened on November 14th, 1816. So it was transporting an armed troop to help deal with the seizure that occurred in August by England at Fort William.
This is an old ass
And
story.
yeah, and an early winter storm hurled her ashore, and she was broken up to pieces at Whitefish Point. But everyone that was on the ship made it to safety in Sault Ste. Marie.
So we can laugh.
Oh,
It's fine.
Yes,
that's
they
good.
did it. They made
Well, as
it.
long as the
Yes.
passengers were invincible,
But
then
can you
Yeah,
imagine how weird that
they
would be to
were.
be on the boat in, I was gonna say the ocean again. Sorry, on the water. Then all of a sudden you're just up on the shore. Like that would just be such a weird, like you're not supposed to be
Yeah.
on the shore. That would just be so
Mhm.
weird. Like you're holding on to anything you can, otherwise you just fall off onto land and like break your neck.
Right.
Yeah, it's, I don't know how they even made it. The water's
Yeah,
so
That's
cold.
lucky they
Obviously, there's a lot of
did
reefs there
because
too.
yeah.
November, obviously,
Oh, no.
hypothermia pretty much
Yeah,
within
instantly.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, okay, so at least
Listen, I
no
don't know
one
how
died.
long these men lasted afterwards, but they made it to the shore. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Um, so the next photo is of the comet. This is of its sunk because newsflash, it
Oh.
sank.
Shush.
I just thought this was really cool, this photo and how clear that is with its name and everything on it.
Yeah.
But
Very well
Has
preserved.
like cool
mhm,
font too.
mhm.
Mhm.
So this collided with a ship called the Manitoba at Whitefish Point, of course, on August 26, 1875, and it only took 10 minutes to sink. That's it.
Like, are boats
And
even safe? I just don't.
I
This
don't
seems
know.
It,
insane to
it blows
me.
my mind when ships that like big would just go under that
I
quickly. Like
know.
I know. But
even when
here
we
might be a
covered.
reason why it sank so quickly. So it had
Okay.
11 crewmen on it that did all die, but it
Oh,
was nicknamed the treasure ship because it sank with 70 tons of high-grade Montana silver ore.
let's
So
go.
it's
Did someone
let's
go
yeah.
retrieve it later?
Yeah. I think it's protected now, so no one's really gone down to get anything from
So
it.
no one's probably looking too closely. It's in an
So we
old
should
cave.
know.
And Megan, go for it.
And
On
so
our
this
Become the
is
podcast
closest with this silver.
yes, right.
yeah, there
Finally,
we go.
who needs a job if
The
I just?
silver ore.
Exactly.
So this is my last photo just because some of these became harder and harder to find photos for, but this is called the
Ooh,
J.S.
creepy.
Severns? Severns. Sorry, I put an extra R in here for some
This is
reason.
underwater.
It looks so creepy.
Yes.
I hate
This photo
this.
is underwater. So people, if you are not on the video, go and look at the Instagram. Everything is in place. You'll learn why it looks so well preserved. Like this photo is of underwater of like a kitchen or something, and there are just plates and things still
And
perfectly on the
chairs,
shelves.
like those are chairs
Chairs
that.
still perfectly in
Yeah.
place. So
Mm.
this sank in Michopicotin Harbor on
Nailed it.
October 22nd, 1884, and as we just said, is shockingly well preserved. So the hull was intact and even dishes are still on the shelves. And it had unloaded its cargo at the dock, and it was a clear night, not a storm or any fog in sight,
Mhm.
but they backed up into a rock, putting a hole in it. And still, I don't clearly understand why they still tried to cross the harbor and they made it 7 miles. And then so 15 crew and
Oh my
45
god.
passengers survived. Reports are unclear how many died. There were some deaths though. I think the top number I read was like 11.
Okay.
Um but because it was so calm, because there was no storm, there was no nothing when the ship went down, it just kind of lightly sank.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
That would explain why.
creepy.
Yeah, so that's why everything's just still, like, in place. It's like when
It
you
like
see those
gently
abandoned
glided.
homes, right? It's just
Mhm.
like it's just
Yeah, it
there.
almost looks
So,
like it just could be a grainy photo of
of the inside of a
something that
ship,
isn't
It
yeah.
looks like
underwater.
someone flooded a dollhouse, is what it looks
Yeah,
like.
right?
Yeah. Very
So
creepy.
it was
Yeah.
discovered in July of 2016 using sonar and
Hey,
cameras,
that's
and
recent-ish.
apparently it's a very spectacular site to go and dive at because it's just amazing how intact it is.
Well, yeah, because it seems like it was
Mm.
like it almost seems like it was sunk and then things were like placed again back on shelves. Because
Yeah, it
this,
looks like
Yeah.
somebody was setting up like a reenactment of
hmm
a ship being underwater or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
It's so perfect. Yeah, a lot of there's so we'll have the links on the website and it's really, really cool. A lot of these photos, things that you can go through of all these different shipwrecks in Lake Superior, and especially when you go to the JS Seaverns, like it's really cool.
it makes me very uncomfortable, but I appreciate, but like that's why, because I love miniatures and it looks like that. But the fact that I
Mhm.
know you're telling me that's a ship that sunk. It's just very like things like that shouldn't be underwater. So it
It
just
does
makes you
look like
feel
a kind of like a
weird,
dollhouse.
right?
I actually had a, well, we still have it. When I was a baby, I won this giant dollhouse that was handmade by this
How did
old
you
elderly
win it?
couple.
How did a
So
baby win it?
IWK telethon, have you that's the children's hospital in
Yeah.
Halifax. Every year they'd have like something they'd raffle off, and my neighbor bought a ticket under my name when I was a baby,
That's
Oh, that's so
and
cute.
I
sweet.
won. So yeah, we still have it. I'll send you guys pictures, but
Would
it
you?
has
You
all
started
these
life on a
intricate
high.
little. Yeah, I know, best dollhouse ever.
I love anything that is like miniature. Probably why I love Barbies, but like miniature doll houses, or when you go to the museum in Halifax, like the North Atlantic or whatever, the one downtown, all the ship replicas. I'm like just
Mhm.
obsessed with that.
Yeah, I
Also,
love that too.
Lindsay, when I was
Yeah,
a
me too.
toddler or something, I also won a raffle. I never
Oh,
win anything. And I
okay.
think my dad put my name in for a raffle, and it was like a Toronto Blue Jays gift set.
That's
Hmm.
And I
cool.
and I was like a little baby, and I was like, they didn't know, but maybe it was like a fate thing.
Oh,
I want a
wow. So we're
cake on a
both baby
cakewalk.
winners. What did you win as a baby, Chantal?
She want a cake.
I
A
won life. No, I won a cake on a
Life.
cakewalk.
what is
That
a
was when I was like
Yeah.
cakewalk?
6.
Oh, we used to
They
have those
have
at
like
school
a
for fundraisers.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like,
It's
they
one
Bake
of
would
those
sale?
like
stop, and
fair
whatever
days.
number you were on or something, that was
Oh,
the cake you
neat.
Yeah.
won. Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually gonna say too, I remember one of my favorite projects in school was that we had to build like a mini replica of something and
Love
I was creating
it.
this like bedroom because we made it to Barbie size because we were like, well, that way I can use it for my Barbies afterwards. So it was like this
Yeah.
bedroom. I can't remember exactly what this was for, but I remember I loved it so much. There's like this cute little basket with like little magazines in it on the desk
It
and like
kills
here's my
me.
little lamp and because my mom used
I
to
love it.
tool paint all the time.
Oh, so
So
did
we would
my
have
mom.
like these yeah, so we have like
Oh,
these
yeah,
little
my grandma
wooden
did.
things everywhere, and so
Like
we were,
little
like,
buckets
painting
and just like
those and, like
small like
I think I have a
household
little
things.
stool that
yeah.
was
Yeah.
tool painted.
Yeah, and, like, so then and, like, I remember making the bed, like, my dad helped me to, like, because he had all the saw kits and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
He had all the tools you can have, so he, like, helped to build the bed and, like yeah, I remember I loved that so much because I was like, "I get to build a miniature room? Are you kidding me?" Anyways,
I can't even
that's what
remember
that
what
just
what
reminded me
what
of.
this was for, but there's a shop in Halifax that did miniatures and like a but I think it was mostly for like train enthusiasts, like little train
Mhm.
sets. And I don't know why I was building something in school and I bought like, little mini trees and like little fake grass and I was like just
Mhm.
fucking
Oh, yeah, I think I
I
had
Huh.
fake plants in the room too.
love that shit. I was doing like
You
a
love
desert scape.
IKEA now, Chantal, you are always the person I would call for
that's
any furniture
fair.
One for
building.
build yes, she's built like half of
Yeah.
my
Oh,
furniture
oh,
too.
Chantal
yeah.
came to like I remember I was it was before I moved to Chicago. You came to like my office to help us like I think build tables and desks. And they're like,
Mhm.
I feel bad we should like be paying your friend. I'm like,
No,
you can
she
pay her,
she
but she's
loves
here for
this.
fun. So
Yeah.
She
I
came
mean,
They give
over.
you
feel free to
lunch.
still give
Well,
get her
see,
some
so that's
food
what
or
I did. So she
something.
came
But
over to my place, and I was like, "I have wine. I'm going to order a pizza." But there's like
Mhm.
4 things to build. She's like,
We were
"Just get
both
out of
there.
my way."
Yeah, we were both over, and I told you both to
Oh
get out of my
yeah,
way unless I needed you. I
that's
needed you for the bed
no, you're
frame. I
right.
was like,
yeah.
"Need you guys to hold here and here," and then
Lindsay,
Right.
were
I
you were
have
you
pictures of us on the
pregnant then?
floor. I think so. I know well, no, I think we made some stuff before then. I have multiple pictures of
no, I
Chantal
think
and
that
I
was
building, but
before I think that was before because I think you're thinking of another time where we all came over and we got together, and then we made Lindsay leave and I didn't so that we could make her the
yeah.
present.
I do remember that. Sorry. You know what?
Okay.
No one needs to hear this. I'm so sorry.
Back
Yeah,
Or like, hey,
to the
so sorry.
ships.
building furniture.
Let's get back to ships here. So, hey, you just learned a little bit more about us. That's all.
Okay.
Um, even though you didn't want to. The John Owen
Against your will.
steamer. Ooh, we are holding you hostage.
Yes.
So this went down on November 13th, 1919. So
Why
it
does
is a
everything go down in
200
November?
That's what I was thinking.
because
Or
this
even
is
like
when the
the
storms
weather.
happen. This is exactly why this happens.
Guess that makes sense.
So November 13th, 1919, it was a 218-foot 2,127-ton steamer that was taken out by gale winds. So all 21 crewmen and one woman were lost, 22 again, which I also find weird,
Hmm.
along with the ship. And so the location of the sinking is actually still unknown to this day, but it's thought to be somewhere near White Point. Um, so the following March, a Coast Guard delivering mail by dog sled came across a body frozen in the ice.
Oh my
Stop.
gosh,
They
so
cut
scary.
him out with an axe and carried him to the station to await instructions. The body was in very good
Mhm.
condition because it had been preserved in the ice, except for 2 missing fingers, which they think might have accidentally been removed when they were trying to retrieve the body.
Ugh.
So, this is the only time that the lake has actually been said to give up its dead, and the cold water depth I got into that earlier, sorry. The ghost of Three-Fingered Riley is said to wander the shores there, though.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
That is
So this is the
very
one body the lake was like, "Nah, like, we
Yeah.
don't
well,
want this
and it
one."
tried. Like, if the guy in the bobsled didn't have an axe with
That's
him
fair.
or
Yeah, it would
had
have melted and taken him back down
he
later.
yeah,
Yeah, he
or if he
Took
had
it.
gone, like,
from the
slightly
lake.
one direction, maybe a little bit more of an angle,
You're
he
right.
maybe
The
didn't see him
superior
or
tried not to give up that dead. He was like, "No,
Yeah.
work for it, bitch."
Can we
Like,
just also appreciate that a guy was on a bobsled with or sorry, a
dog
dog
sled.
sled. Bobsled is like with
Delivering
no
mail?
dogs. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is so quaint.
Yeah.
Minus the poor soul that was dead. Everything else I like about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everything else is like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah,
Um,
just minus the corpse.
Yeah.
and so my last one here that I'm going to talk about is the SS Superior City. So this was a 400-foot long ship that weighed 3,693 tons, and it was transporting 7,600 tons of iron ore at the time.
That's a heavy ship.
So I'm about to say a story that we have heard 1,000 times, well, or at least twice from Lindsay. So while leaving the area, the Willis L. King, which is a 580-foot steel steamer, was coming into the area that the SS Superior City is
I know
leaving.
where this is going.
Yes, you
Tale
do.
as old as
So,
time.
so Captain Sawyer of the SS Superior City states that the weather was clear and both ships said that they would pass port to port. That was a signal. Captain Nelson of the Willis S. L. King claimed there was heavy fog and they were going starboard to starboard. Inevitably, they T-boned.
Oh,
And
because clearly someone's really wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like they
This
both
is
and
not gonna go well.
here's where it gets even worse. As they were
Mm.
trying to lower the boats, cold water rushed into the boiler room on the SS Superior City. And if we remember from before, cold water plus a boiler room equals an explosion. 29 men died. They considered that they probably died instantly from the
Oh,
explosion.
wow.
And both
Whoa.
captains were ultimately seen at fault. And the discovery of the wreck occurred in 1972 and it included bodies. In 1988, a video circulated of divers in the site of the SS Superior City and they were holding up a leg bone that still had a shoe attached to the
Oh my
foot.
god.
Maybe
So
don't touch
really
the
not
leg.
cool.
No.
Yeah.
So this led
Like, were
to
they
public
weren't just
outcry.
retrieving it, they were just, like,
No, they
showing
were
it
like, "Look at
off?
this" in this
Oh,
Also,
yeah,
video.
that's
what
weird.
year did you
That's
say?
really
1988?
disrespectful.
1988. Yeah.
So okay. So there when you say video, you mean like a VHS tape is making the
No, like an
rounds.
underwater, an
Like a
underwater camera.
camcorder.
I know, but you say like
But
making the
yeah,
rounds.
yeah.
Like it's just news or
Yeah, on the news and stuff,
oh my
obviously.
God.
That's
That's
right.
so
How
upsetting.
did it back then. So this led to public outcry and legal disputes
Mhm.
because a pivotal moment. This became a pivotal moment in the discussion of ethical treatment of shipwreck sites, specifically ones that were considered to be maritime graves. And this led to stricter regulations and protection of the Great Lakes shipwrecks. And they are now protected under what's called the Abandoned Shipwreck Act of 1987.
Cool name, but like
Oh,
very
wow.
sad.
Yeah.
Yes. So there is also a society called the Great Lakes Shipwreck Preservation Society, and they help to promote the conservation of shipwrecks in those areas, and it also helps to stop illegal treasure hunting, like what we had
Oh,
planned.
Megan.
Um,
Yeah, abandon your
Megan.
idea
But
of
now if I join and then get everyone to trust me and I'm like, I'll be the treasurer. It's okay. I can figure this out.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah.
Don't
Okay,
worry about it.
I believe you.
So a permit is typically needed to dive to these wrecks. There is like recreational diving and stuff like that, but everybody has to get a permit. They have to be allowed to do it, or it has to be for research reasons that they're going down now. And there is a song about a famous shipwreck here, but Lindsay will be covering it next week. So if you know, you know. And this might seem obvious, but this lake is actually considered one of the top 10 most haunted lakes in the world. There have been plenty of other stories of ghost ships, famous UFO sightings, as well as divers that have encountered ghosts down below. But we'll save those for another day.
Yeah, we're going to be coming back to Lake Superior.
Yeah. We're going to be coming back to a lot of the lakes, actually.
Feel
Like
free
maybe 5 of
to
them.
edit this out if you want.
So, anyways, that is our Lake Superior graveyard today. We will have lots of more stories to come for you guys. It's a little bit of a shorty, but someone has, dinner to make for their children
Yeah.
tonight. So,
Also, I mean, is 45 minutes considered short? I think this is a
no.
really
Yeah,
good.
this is
good.
good.
Good thing.
We're finally we're on the mark for once. Maybe
Yeah,
that's what it is.
we actually
Yeah.
initially planned to always be 45 minutes, but
Yeah.
we talk a
Well,
lot.
But then we remembered that we're friends
Right.
which is the hardest part about keeping the time going. Because
and
then
ending the conversation.
we
we're
had a whole
recording.
conversation about candy a second ago. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
We're recording like a Wednesday night, which is not
Mhm.
our normal time.
No.
So usually on
No.
Friday we
Oh,
go a little
I also
crazier.
told Damien that I think he has sundowners because he just gets so crazy at night. He like can't remember where anything is, and I'm like, so just that's my life now.
We'll
So
enjoy that because the sun is down and
I know. So
And
things
the
are
sun
bad.
is down most of the time right
Sun
now.
is down.
Yes.
We're almost at the shortest day of the year. So
that's right.
Very close. So we'll say end of Lake
Let's-
Superior Part 1.
yes,
Part
I
one.
like that.
Right.
And yes, there will be like a Great Lakes whole thing too, as well. I'm sure
'Cause we
'Cause
like
there's
water over
lots.
here. You know?
Well,
We're
thank
a
you,
water
Chantal, for
group.
giving us the intro to Lake
teaser.
Superior.
And I didn't know any of this stuff.
It's
So
so
Yeah.
cool. It was so cool to learn this.
Very
I
interesting.
really had to cut myself off. I won't lie. As
Well,
like there was
again,
so
this
much
is
more that I
part
found, and then
1
I'm like,
of
Right.
yeah,
We'll
it's
be
like
coming back
I'm
to
gonna be
this.
7 hours if I do this. So
If you want
Anyways,
that, let us know.
let us know.
7-hour-long episode.
We'll have a 24-hour Lake Superior episode. So, anyways, okay, let's do what we said we're gonna do, and we love you all, and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
See you next week.
Bye.
Good night. See you next week.
Thank you for listening today. We loved having you. If you liked the episode, share with your friends, family, or anyone who would enjoy it. Also, take a moment to review our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Leaving us a like or comment really helps. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, please visit our coffee page at www.ko-fi.com/coastfiles. Email us at coastfilespod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at coastfilespod, or visit our website at www.coastfiles.com. You can find the sources for today's episode on our website. See you next week with a new episode.